Folks, welcome into the show. You know what time it is here, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's Tuesday the 6th, just in time for the late night on campus. I'll be your host tonight, Donnie Rightside, with my partner in crime, Jeff Nadeau, also known as the big man on campus. A lot to go over today. Doing a lot of logistics behind the scenes today, big man. Trying to set some technology up for later in the week. How's it going, big man?
Doing good, Donnie. Yeah. I've changed up where I'm at. I'm in a new little office that I'm creating here, and you got a new camera and everything. So yeah, a lot going on tonight.
Yeah, no, we'll see. Definitely have some fun. Baseball is the name of the game tonight. Obviously, there's no hockey. There's no NBA basketball. This is the crux of the start of the summer for us here as we just blend into those dog days on that grind that we call Major League Baseball. So a lot to go over tonight in the way of baseball, setting up the rest of the week there. But we might as well get started into a couple things here.
Yeah, a lot going on. Obviously, tonight, Donnie, we'll go over baseball. A lot going on tonight. A lot of interesting, amazing things going on in baseball tonight. We'll talk about the NBA Finals a little bit. We get Game 3 tomorrow. We also, Donnie, will discuss some of our favorite pitchers. I know people always ask us, what pitchers do you like to bet on? What pitchers are kind of in your wheelhouse? I'll throw out a couple names that I think going forward, kind of that we've talked about on the round table. And if you've missed a round table, I'll even throw in a couple new ones. But also some interesting news stories later that we'll get into as well. Also, we urge you, give a call to our hotline, Donnie. We created a hotline for anyone new out there. We created a hotline last night. It's called the Late Night on Campus Hotline. You can call in during the show, after the show, at 4 o'clock in the morning, whenever you want. We'll play them live on the air. We are just taking care of one or two little things, Donnie, trying to get it perfected perfectly. So, call in. We'll get to them probably tomorrow night. So make sure you call in, and we'll get to everyone's that have called in. There's plenty of people that have called in.
Yeah, no, we'll have a lot of fun with that. And as the weeks go, give your hot take 30 seconds or less. Keep it short. Keep it smart. We'll edit those down eventually and pick the best callers of the day to go over. So we'll have a lot of fun with that. And again, be a good caller there, the more you're going to make the Air Force here. So it should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, it will be fun. Are you at the shore? No, I'm not. I'm at my I'm in my spot. I look blurry. Okay, I'll have to fix that during when Donnie.
Yeah, internet connection looks a little blurry on your end, but we can hear you fine and we can certainly see.
Yeah,
you.
I got it connected. I got it connected right into my computer, so I'm not sure what would be wrong.
Yeah, well, let's get to it, big man. Up on deck here. How about this? Bounce back game tonight from Aaron Nola and the Philadelphia Phillies. 3-1. They're leading in the ninth inning. Could this be 4 in a row, Jeff, for the Titans?
Yeah, it might be. Nola was fantastic tonight. They've done enough offensively, and Atlanta's been terrible. I mean, they've been really bad offensively. Just 5 hits. Just really another poor performance from this group. And yeah, they're pitching well. They're hitting right now. They're starting to come back a little bit. So it could be 4 in a row, Donnie. And look, the Braves are really starting to kind of just be as bad as the Phillies are, really.
Yeah, no, an interesting one. It's good to see Nola bounce back, one of their younger arms. He has pitched well in the past, a little bit of a down year for him, but looks like it's a down year for just about every pitcher on the Phillies. But a nice comeback here, coming down. I know it's Atlanta. They stink too. They're on the same level, but getting a couple wins in the row for the Phillies here, kind of surprising for me. We'll see if it holds up even tomorrow. But again, they still got to make it through the bottom of the ninth. We know their bullpen woes in the past, but nice to have the 3-1 lead heading into the bottom of the ninth, though.
Yeah, no, they're looking really good. Donnie, and let me know, if is my connection any better?
No, it's we can hear you clear, but it's just a little bit blurry on your end. That's all.
That's weird. But yeah, no, they're looking good right now. This is, I think, one of the games I gave out that's not looking good tonight. All the other ones I gave out are looking pretty decent so far. But yeah, Philly's looking good tonight. And Jaime Garcia was pitching well early, but the wheels just kind of fell off for him tonight.
Yeah, no, I hold on. Why don't I even have that game up here? I'm sorry Jaime Garcia. I'm actually going back to he's still in the Cardinals there. But yeah, he did pitch well tonight. That was expected. But again, didn't expect Nola to have that bounce back. Next up on the docket here, Jeff, I don't think this is too much of a surprise. Anderson's been really good for Milwaukee. San Francisco comes into that game with Matt Cain on the mound, blow him up for a couple runs early. Looks like they're going to hold on there as a 5-1 winner. And that line, Jeff, crashed all the way down, opened up at -139, bet down to -113. So another one of those where the Sharps thought they were smarter, and they're getting their tail kicked in a little bit right there.
Yeah, I don't know if this game, Donnie's over just yet. Top 9, no outs, runners on first and second. They're only down 4. You never know what might happen. But yeah, I mean, Milwaukee kind of jumped out early. Anderson was, again, Donnie, very good. And we've started to see this with this Milwaukee team, getting decent starts, but their bullpen's having issues. You remember the Dodgers series to give up a home run after Jimmy Nelson was fantastic for 8 innings. Looks like more runs here. Brandon Crawford with a hit here. So don't count out San Francisco just yet. They might have saved all their energy for the 9th inning, but Milwaukee needs to learn how to finish games. And without an effective closer right now, they're beginning to have issues. I mean, Donnie, you look at some of their 9th inning pitchers. I mean, tonight it's Carlos Torres. It was Nebel the other night against the Dodgers. K-Rod, where the hell has he been? Is he injured? I mean, I haven't heard from him in a while. Where the hell's K-Rod at?
K-Rod's in Detroit, isn't he?
No, he's with the Brewers, I believe.
Oh, he is? I thought he was actually warming up in the bullpen.
I could have sworn he was with Detroit. When the hell did he go to Detroit?
He used to, exactly. I mean, that's just a washed-up guy. I mean, it seems like yesterday he was just on the Mets, so I agree with you on that one.
That's amazing. I literally honestly thought he was still with the that shows how much I care about the fucking Brewers. But I could have sworn he was still with them. But, yeah, I mean, you look at their bullpen. I mean, who is their closer? Is it Neftali Feliz? Is it Corey Nebel? Is it Carlos Torres? I mean,
Nebel's got a couple chances this year, so I guess it might be a little bit by bullpen reserve, so to speak.
Yeah, I mean, it's 5-2 with no outs, Donnie, first and third. So, I mean, who the hell knows? We'll have to come back to this one, I have a feeling.
Yeah, no, I'm actually going to turn that on as soon as this Phillies game ends up here on my TV. Next up there, Jeff, Miami and Chicago. Another one, top of the 7th inning. I mean, you still have a little bit of ways to go, but it is 4-1, 5 total runs in that one. Another low over-under in this game at 7.5. The wind blowing in at Wrigley Field. We'll see if that holds up. But Jeff Locke on the mound versus Arrieta. Looks like Arrieta had a nice – I didn't watch any of that game, but just looking from the scores there, looks like Arrieta had a nice bounce-back game in that one, leading 4-1. Decent Miami lineup. I know Boer's been out and looks like he's going to be out in the maybe extended there on the DL, but still a decent hitting lineup. Good night for Arrieta, but I guess it must be nice to pitch in Wrigley with that wind blowing in, obviously, as opposed to blowing out.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't see the Cubs losing tonight. I really didn't. I mean, Arrieta has struggled, but again, I mean, it's Jeff Locke. I mean, the likelihood of Jeff Locke pitching 2 good games in a row is like me getting laid 2 nights in a row. It's not. It doesn't happen that much. Yeah, look. Our buddy called me earlier, Donnie, our friend. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to mention his name, but we know who I'm talking about, who had the issues with our friend Jeff Locke, and he claims he was on the Cubs tonight. So I guess he still bets against Jeff Locke. I don't know, but if you bet against Jeff Locke tonight, you were a winner. So the Cubs are looking good so far. They do have a man on third, the Marlins, with no outs in the 7th. So, again, I don't know if this game's over just yet. If you have a run line play here, you're definitely concerned because if you remember, Donnie, this line was very high. So if you bet this game, unless you have it in a parlay, you bet the run line. So you never know. For whatever reason, you never know.
Close to a 200. Close to a 200. They closed that there. Looks like minus 205 at 5 dimes, minus 205 at Chris. So certainly something to keep your eye on as that game goes down. But again, nice to pitch there, obviously, with the wind blowing in. Next up on the docket, Lamet versus Ray. Jeff, bottom of the 2nd, 2-0 lead for Arizona. Are we surprised that Arizona has a couple runs on the board early in that game since they are at home? No, we're
not. And if you listen to the show earlier, I mentioned I like the over in this game. I thought Lamet would have some trouble, and you look at in the first inning, he had some trouble. I mean, you look at what the Diamondbacks did. I mean, he walked or hit Goldschmidt, Gregor Blanco double, Jake Lamb double. I mean, Chris Owings walk. If not for a strikeout to Danny Descalso, that could have been a big inning there. So yeah, I mean, I thought he would struggle. It was a good barometer for Dinelson Lamet. I thought he would have some trouble tonight, but again, it'll be interesting to see how Robbie Ray pitches here. We've talked about his issues at home, so I think this is a pretty high scoring game. We'll see what happens. Nice start for the over.
Yeah, a long way to go in that one, but the over did close at 8.5 in that ball game, so we'll certainly see how that game ends up. Next up on the docket there, we talked earlier with Tanaka and Pomerantz, 5-3 in the bottom of the 8th inning. Tanaka, I believe he was knocked around a little bit early in that game, Jeff. I didn't watch too much of it there, but hovering right on that total line, 5-3 in the bottom of the 8th. Looks like it closed roughly about 8.5 across the board, so we'll have to keep an eye on that one. But in the game we just went over as well, looks like Miami did score to make that game a 4-2 game. But back to the Boston, New York game, Jeff. What can we say about Tanaka so far here on the year? We talked about it earlier. Time may be up for the guy, just riding on fumes.
He stinks. I mean, I don't know what else to say about it. He's not good. I mean, he hasn't pitched well all year, and he didn't pitch well again tonight. He only goes 5 innings, gave up 5 earned runs, 3 home runs. His ERA is almost 7, Donnie.
Yeah.
Look, we're into June now. I mean, we're not, we're starting to get into the summer months. At what point is he going to make it, get it fixed? I mean, is he the next guy to go on the DL? That seems to be the growing trend this year. When you get blown up, just go on the DL and everything's going to be okay. So, yeah, look, I mean, he has issues right now. And this is the one problem for this Yankees team. Obviously they have the young budding stars coming up. They have the great bullpen, but do we trust their starting pitching? That's a problem for me. Look, I like Pineda. I like Severino. I don't trust Tanaka. I really don't. Again, Jordan Montgomery long term, I don't. He's not going to be a guy I don't think over the years going to be good all year. CeCe Sabathia, who the hell knows what you're going to get with him? Yeah, exactly. They need Tanaka, and they don't have him right now. He's not pitched well all year. It sucked for the Yankees because if they had a top flight starter, they would, they'd be a real heavy force going forward. But Tanaka needs to wake up. I don't know what his issue is.
Yeah, bullpen's there. So if they can get it together, obviously New York can hit. They got the bullpen to back it up. Just need some frontline start pitching to come down. But yeah, disappointing for Tanaka. A lot of money. Still has a lot of money left on his contract too.
Good point by David Hardy. Phillies relief coming in, Donnie. You know what that means?
Yeah, that's a couple runners on. Yep.
That's never good.
That's always the game plan. That one. Next up here for us, Quintana and Archer 3-1. Chicago White Sox on top of Tampa Bay. One of the few pitchers with Tampa Bay, Jeff, I don't really like to back just because I don't think the value is there. Another one tonight, Archer on the mound. I mean, hey, if you're not going to score more than one run for a guy, I don't care who the starting pitcher is, you're probably not going to win too many ball games. But Archer closed roughly at about -170, -174 across the board. And it doesn't look like they're going to pull that one out. But then again, I mean, hey, Chicago White Sox do have a good bullpen, so up 3-1 in the bottom of the eighth. One would think they would hang on there, but nobody knows. We'll see what happens there in that.
How about my boy Quintana, Donnie? I mean, finally a nice start from him. And look, when you have Tampa Bay facing a lefty, you should be fading them. They're not good against lefties. I like the under in this game. I took the under. I'm a little concerned right now. It's at 4. There are 2 men on, second and third with 1 out for the Rays. I'm hoping Tommy Canley can come in here and kind of shut the door. But, a low-scoring game, kind of what I thought it would be. Yeah. Both these lineups struggle kind of against the opposition. Chris Archer was good as well. Just kind of gave up some home runs and stuff. But other than that, another very good outing for Chris Archer. Let's hope this one stays low. I have an under here.
Yeah, no, interesting tomorrow. I haven't really taken a look too much at tomorrow's games there, but keeping an eye on Tampa Bay. Looks like we have Odorizzi on the mound versus Pelfrey tomorrow in a night game, so maybe a chance for them to bounce back. And also just doing a quick preview of tomorrow. Looks like we have a couple games in the afternoon. Bauer, Freeland at 3:10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Liriano and Cotton. That's at 3:35, and looks like also another game at 3 o'clock. Jeff, how about this one? Afternoon matinee out in Dodgerland. Strasburg, Kershaw tomorrow, buddy.
Yeah, that's a great pitching matchup. It really is. By the way, I mean, look, I'm sitting on this under here. I mean, bases loaded, 1 out. I'm going to need a little DP here, Donnie. And I'm not talking about double penetration. I need a double play here, cuz I need a double play. Jesus Sucre, come on. Sucre Blah, come on. So let's root in a double play here, or just to get out of the inning nonetheless. But that's a great pitching matchup. I'm sure we'll talk about that on tomorrow's roundtable.
Yeah, nice roundtable action for us tomorrow, 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All the boys will be back together. Me, Jeff, Ian, and also Drew hosting it from down there in Costa Rica. So we should have some good times there. Jeff, you want to go live play-by-play on your Tampa Bay game here?
Sure, if you have it up. I don't have it up, but you can
bring it up right here, man. I'm gonna get away from the Phillies game, who have 2 on and 1 out. I mean, I don't have any action on the game, but just that's my Phillies for what I like to watch and see. Let's see what we got in Tampa Bay here. 3-1, bases juiced, 1 out. Sucre's at the plate, Canley on the mound. Yeah, look, 2 straight balls. Yeah, it looks like they're going out to the. By the way,
Donnie, the Milwaukee Brewers have closed it out. They win 5-2 against the San Francisco Giants. So how about that? Corey Nebel comes in and replaces Carlos.
The fire out, huh?
Strikes out 3 there. So good for him. what do we have going on? You want to do a little play?
Yeah, look,
How about Baltimore, Donnie? Baltimore ties it up in the
5-5 now. And yeah, watching that game a little bit earlier there, looks like Pittsburgh was going to run away early, but a couple solo blasts go back to back to make it 4-3. Haven't watched since there, but yeah, I'm seeing amazing. 5-5 there. Now, was that 5-4, Jeff, heading into the bottom of the ninth?
I think it was 5-3.
Oh, goodness.
I got to tell you, dude, these fucking unders, man, it's amazing. I took 9.5, under 9.5 in this game. What a brutal beat. I mean, it's 5-3 the whole game. It was 4-3 at one point. I think in like the 6th or 7th inning. These overs are getting crushed. It's amazing. But let's hope this Chicago one can finish out. Donnie, up in Globe Life Park, a high-scoring affair here. The Mets go over yet again, 8-4 tonight. Jacob deGrom was not particularly good, Donnie, in this game, and neither was Dylan G for the most part. You look at deGrom's line, 4 innings, Donnie, 10 hits, 8 earned runs, and 2 homers. So a night to forget for Jacob.
Jeff, he looked the same. I took the over last week in deGrom's game in New York versus Milwaukee. They peppered him 7 runs over 4 innings in that one to get after it. Looks like they did the same to him tonight. So again, what you build your team on, young power arms. My goodness, man. I mean, what's going on in New York?
I have no idea. It's actually almost funny to me. I can't stand Met fans. So I don't have any problem with it. But if I told you tonight Dylan G would pitch better than Jacob deGrom, you would have slapped me in the face. I mean, you wouldn't believe me. So nice job for Dylan G. Rangers bail him out there with plenty of offense. We see yet another over for the New York Mets. LA Angels, Donnie, up 5-3 at Detroit. And, you look at Dan Nars tonight, he was
touched up a little bit tonight. Yeah. Gave up
a couple runs. Blake Hardy came in and gave up some runs as well. You look at Jesse Chavez, though, Donnie, the big story, 5 2/3.
He was really good tonight. Yeah, he was. He was really good.
Now, Donnie, can I ask you a question?
What's up?
You've been quite quiet about this game. Is there a reason behind that?
Yeah, there's first and second base with 2 outs and Kinsler up at the plate. It's 5-3. I need 1 run for a push in this one. So
I'm proud of you, Donnie. You've actually been fairly normal in this show.
Yeah, I mean, I am a fairly normal individual better. Like if it gets the hit, great.
There, Donnie.
If it doesn't get it, yeah. I mean, if they get it or don't get it, from the words from what I like to say, it's the ones, Jeff, that we get really upset about are the games where you're supposed to win. You had a win in your back pocket, but you just didn't pull it out because of some weird luck. The games, I mean, I've lost hundreds of games in my career. The ones that dig in me are the ones that you're supposed to win. Like, let's say you had football and your over-under was 44.5 and you're at 44 points early third quarter and nobody scores the rest of the game. Those ones hurt. So, I mean, I can do a live show with games in progress.
I mean,
and do all that stuff.
You should win in this spot. Ian Kinsler's a good major league hitter.
I wish there was 1 out, though. That was the problem.
Problem is he's going to pitch around him here. I mean, he has a base open. Who would be? Well, actually, you can't really pitch around him. I mean,
Avila would come up.
Alex Avila's up next. He walks him. The base is loaded. Alex Avila coming up, who hits 327. I mean, he's our best hitter. So we'll root this one in for you, Donnie. What's going on over in Tampa Bay, Donnie?
Looks like we have a 3-2 game here. Conley's trying to get his way out. 1-2 count. So big strikeout here for you, Jeff, is what we're going to root for, huh?
Yeah, Joe Marino really helping you out. Kinsler just came off the DL. Probably not great production. Yeah, good call. He got walked, by the way. Joe Marino's rooting you out, Donnie. He's not rooting you in either. Phillies
win. Opposite on me.
Phillies win. Thank you, David Hardy. You must have been all over that game. You must have had the Phillies. But yes, the Phillies get the job done tonight. Oakland's going to win again tonight. I bet it hard. Good luck, Jim Bean. Hopefully you get the job done. Donnie, Houston continues their torrid pace. This is my premium play tonight. I took the Houston Astros minus 132. That line went down a little bit, Donnie. I get Houston at 132. I mean, explain that to me. You give me Houston minus 132 against Joe Jonas, whatever the fuck his name was.
Yeah.
Explain that to me. I mean, If you didn't take
Joe
Kinnison
Jonas.
tonight,
Is it
shame on you.
Jacob? What was the guy? I think it's Jacob. That's even better. You called him Joe.
Jake Janis, whatever his name is. Yeah, shame on you if you didn't take the Astros tonight. I don't really know what you were thinking and why you didn't do it, but you're getting this lineup against some no-name pitcher in the Royals bullpen. So hopefully the bullpen for the Houston Astros can close it out. You look at David Paulino, not particularly bad tonight, Donnie. He was pretty effective. I mean, he gave a couple runs, but nothing too bad. So hopefully they can close it out there. We head back, Donnie, to Detroit. That one is
the White Sox got out of it 3-2 as we head into the top. There you go. Avila's got a 2-0 count here, so raining
hitters count.
Forecast. Hey, hit him. It's raining. Ball's got to be a little bit slick. Bean him in the head. Put him on first base, please.
Yeah, well, I'm rooting you in here. I look like got the job done. The Yankees scored a fucking strikeout wild pitch. Unbelievable. Yeah, those are tough. I mean, those are really brutal.
Yeah. Any of those are really get on your nerves on that one.
So what do you have?
Count. Let's go.
What do you have there?
I have 9 in this one. So if he walks, at least give me the what's that?
Young Jeezy, what do you have in the game? Do you have Boston run line or like? Well, I mean, you're not losing yet. What do you have? You might have the over.
Come on, walking.
We're gonna
rain it out there. Come on.
This is what we do on the late night on campus. We root in games.
Baby.
Give me Arizona. They got the bases loaded here. Let's blow it open here, boys. Come on, snakes. I don't know no snakes.
Come on. Walk it out. No, Vila swung 3-0. It was right down the middle though, but can't fault that.
Got to take there, bud. You got to take.
Yeah. Nah, not down the middle.
So you might have a shot, Donnie. You're playing with house money if he gets the job.
That ain't house money. He's got to get on for me to play with house money.
If he gets on, you get Miggy up next.
Yeah.
So
I already have the push too, so I'll take that.
What are you doing here on the 3-1 pitch? You gotta walk, right? I mean, you're down 2 runs.
You gotta walk here. Yeah, come on, don't chase anything.
What are you doing? It's Bud Norris, for Christ's sakes.
Come on. Throw one in the dirt. Come on. Throw one in the dirt, baby. Throw it in the dirt.
And he walked there. Come on.
Nah, fastball right down the middle, full count. Yeah, don't jinx me like that, man.
No, I was looking at the wrong game. My bad.
Jeez.
Yeah,
get to another game then. This will take. I'll certainly let you update. 4-0 now in the Arizona game, Jeff.
Good. Blow it open, baby. Blow it the fuck open.
Damn, I don't want to see this count get full. Should have walked in 5 straight pitches.
I love those betting angles, like not betting on Arizona because it's first home bullshit. In my opinion, baseball does not require much fitness. Yeah, dude. Well, again, I mean, that's your business. I'm not a big fan of fading teams off home or off road trips. It's not about fitness.
Oh my God! Struck him out. Avila, you bombed 3-0.
Was it a ball?
He struck out. It was borderline.
Was it a ball though, or
yeah, it was borderline. Damn.
Sorry, buddy. Sorry. Robinson Cano with a 3-run home run. Seattle Mariners take a 3-0 lead at Minnesota. I mean, Hector Santiago, Donnie, we talked about it. This guy has major problems with home runs. I mean, you look at he walks Heredia and Valencia. Cano with a 3-run bomb. That's why he signed Robinson Cano, Donnie.
Yeah, it was great. It could have been called either way on that one. Like literally, the yellow ball was outside but barely touching the white line. Man, he struck out 3-0. That's a tough one. Oh well, it happens.
Anything to say about Cano, Donnie?
Yeah, he's on my fantasy team. I like him.
Cano 3-run shot. Were you listening?
Yeah. No, I see it up at 3-0. Yeah.
Nice job. Washington has a 1-0 lead, Donnie, in the first inning, the bottom of the first inning. Max Scherzer against Brandon McCarthy. Dodgers actually threatening, though. First and second, 1 out. Adrian Gonzalez on the at the plate. Bryce Harper with a sac fly to score the run. Donnie, we forgot to talk about how about Scooter Gennett tonight?
4 home runs. Did I see that? Yeah.
That's amazing. I mean, 10 RBIs. Anthony Rendon had 10 RBIs a little bit earlier this year, but when was the last time someone hit 4 home runs? I can't even remember the last time.
No, it's I believe it was 2000. What was it? I saw this maybe Ryan Braun or something like that. Somebody did it a couple years ago.
The last one was Josh Hamilton. He did it in 2012.
That's it.
I mean, but you look at some of the names on this list, Donnie, and pretty interesting. I mean, Josh Hamilton did it back with Texas, 2012. Carlos Delgado with Toronto. Lou Gehrig did it. Sean Green did it. Remember him?
I do remember Sean.
Michael
Yeah.
Jack Schmidt did it for the Phillies.
Yes, he did.
Donnie,
He did it in Chicago one year.
Name another player that did it for the Phillies.
4 home runs for the Phillies. Oh man.
Back in 1936.
Oh yeah. Well, what is it, like Jimmy Fox or something like that?
Chuck Klein.
Oh, Chuck Klein. There you go.
Willie Mays did it in 1961. That doesn't surprise me. But yeah, Mike Cameron hit 4 home runs in a game. That's amazing. He wasn't usually really a home run hitter, if I can remember correctly. But amazing job by Scooter Gennett. That's something.
Little guy too. Yeah.
That's something you won't see very often. What do we have going on down in? Looks like we have a tie baseball game, Donnie, out in Dodgerland.
1-1. Yeah.
Adrian Gonzalez with a single, I believe, to drive in Corey Seager, to drive in Chase Utley. So Max Scherzer encountering some problems early on here. 7-0 Arizona, Donnie. Grand slam. Lamet is getting pasted tonight. Over's looking fucking great. Chris Owings with a 3-run shot. Amazing stuff, Donnie. Over's looking good in that one. Harper's most likely to end up with the Yankees. Yes, he is. According to Peter Gammons, Donnie, who was on the Rich Eisen show, his basically his point was I think he thinks that Bryce Harper would like to play with the Cubs, but they're not going to be able to sign him and Bryant. So I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, there's no salary cap. But the teams that you have to watch out for, the Philadelphia Phillies have stored away money. They'll probably bid an extra $50 million over the life of the contract over anybody else for one of those big three, whether it be Trout, Machado, or Harper. And with baseball, the one thing I do appreciate about their union is the more money, they force you to go to that destination. Like if the Padres offered Bryce Harper $400 million, they would force him to go to the San Diego Padres. So I think the Phillies will end up opening the wallet and overpaying literally over 10 years an extra $50 million to get one of those big three.
Yeah, again, Thor Marino, it's not about fitness. It's about, again, it's more or less in the NBA I do it. Baseball, I don't think it's as big a deal. But, Donnie, you agree with the notion that an NBA team, you don't back him off of they don't back him off a road trip. I mean, that's like suicide, especially in the NBA with
what do you mean?
Well, I don't back a road team off a long road trip in the NBA first game.
Yeah.
I mean, that's something that any sharp guy will tell you from what I've heard. But a big fella taught me that. A guy, big fella that I know, he taught me that a long time ago. But I think we've went over all the games. Colorado, Donnie, killing Cleveland, and I think I remember someone on the show today, Donnie, talking about Mike Clevenger getting crushed, and he did.
First time out there in Coors, they sat Encarnacion in that game, and that's what you get. I mean, sooner or later, Colorado's going to start opening it up at home the way they're doing it on the road. Looks like they're starting. You have a good start tonight. How about this tonight? The painful thing about this, if you had the over in the Cincinnati St. Louis game, you hit that. If you had the over in the Colorado Cleveland game, I mean, it's 11 and 10.5 some spots across the board, but you have 9 in the 6th. If you had the over in the Texas game, it's 10-4. That went over. If you had the over in the Baltimore-Pittsburgh game, that went over. If you had the over in the Houston-Kansas City game, that went over. If you had the over in the Detroit game, which I did, lost on a strike 3 to end the ball game, lost that one. Looks like it's probably going to stay under, but again, you never know. 4-2 in the Tampa Bay game, that one's close. You got Boston and New York closed at 8.5. That had 9. You have Arizona 7 already in the 3rd. If you look at Detroit and Miami, they just went over 6-2 now. The over-under was 7.5. Under in Milwaukee, under in Philadelphia, and a couple of these games have some early scores as well. Again, if you are betting unders, it doesn't matter. You can be as sharp as you want, do whatever you got to do. You're going to lose long-term in Major League Baseball.
Tampa Bay deciding they want to fuck everyone on the under here. Todd Father with a home run, 4-2, and then Tim Anderson singles. He steals second base and an error. He goes to third. 2 outs, a runner on third, 4-2. So, again, always finding a way to fuck me. I'm sure some dumbass someone will tie it for Tampa Bay in the bottom of the 9th, and we'll get fucked in another under here. But that's baseball for you, isn't it?
It always comes down to the end. Even the game I had there, Jeff, getting 9 with Detroit. I mean, they had some shots. They started out really slow, but you see when the bullpens come in, all hell breaks loose. And you had a 3-0 count with bases loaded with one of the hotter hitters in baseball. I mean, Avila's been amazing this year, and he strikes out. But it took that in order for you to stay under in a baseball game. It's amazing.
1-0 out in Oakland. We forgot to talk about this one. Marco Estrada against Jesse Hahn. A Chris Davis sac fly gives Oakland the lead. And Oakland pesky little team, Donnie. They like
Pesky
to
Hummers, right? Yeah.
yeah, they like to definitely bother you late night out in
Out in Oaktown, baby. The O.co.coo Coliseum. Yeah.
Donnie, you know something you don't see very often? I'm
What's
looking at
that?
this on MLB.com. They have this thing. It's called the rare feats page, like rare
Okay.
and memorable
Yeah.
feats.
Yeah.
30 plus home runs at the All-Star break. I mean,
What
Diepino
guys that will have 30 plus home runs?
that have had 30 plus home runs.
Yeah.
Like, who was the last person to do it? Diepino?
30 plus home runs, probably somebody had that. Maybe it was it Josh Hamilton, maybe?
It's actually Miguel Cabrera back in 2013. He had
Okay.
30. But Donnie, think about this. In 2001, Barry Bonds at the All-Star break, 39 home runs.
Yeah, and again,
That's
I mean, I know he
amazing.
was juiced out of his mind. I get that, but Barry Bonds did stuff that nobody could do. And I mean, what nobody can do, literally getting like one pitch per ball game to hit, and he would knock it out of the park. Just an amazing, amazing batting eye for that guy. I mean, juice helps the ball carry. Juice doesn't help you hit the ball, but just flat out amazing. It was a lot of fun to watch Barry Bonds, even though it was such a knucklehead moron, which nobody liked, which is why, everybody dogs him after all these years. But man, he was amazing.
Yankees free agent signings, Carter, Headley, and Ellsbury are worthless. Yeah, they are. I mean, they're absolutely worthless. That's a great point. Particularly Carter. Carter's just horrible. I mean, he is terrible. Headley, an absolute.
At least he didn't cost you much, though. I mean, Ellsbury got a big time contract.
Chris Carter's making $3 million this year. That's amazing.
That's nothing. Yeah.
I know. Still, though, I mean, what a life. Making $3 million. Atlanta can't
And
even
batting ninth.
Great comment. Comment of the day from Bobby. Atlanta can't even beat Philly, little shitheads.
No, it's bad. It's bad. That I had Atlanta marked, as the worst team in baseball coming into the season, even worse than the Phillies in San Diego. We'll see where they head down. But saw Bartolo Colon news. That's they use that DL now. That's only 10 days, a lot more frequently than they would in the past if it was 15. If you get rocked, they just put you on the 10-day DL to think about it and then bring you back. So I doubt he has a real injury.
Feel free to give the chat line a call, Donnie, the voicemail line. We're getting some kinks worked out, but we want to get everyone kind of getting to know the call line. Call in, bitch about your favorite team. We'll be getting that going. 220-3358, 717-220-3358. I'm sorry, 220-3358. Voice. We're not going to do it tonight, Jim. I got in trouble by the SBR brass for doing that last night. We couldn't hear it, Donnie, remember?
Yeah.
Where's Lauren? He's not on here. Lauren's not on here. I think you mentioned he's on a business trip. He'll be on tomorrow. Would you make a move on your first date? Of course I would. Why wouldn't I? I'm not in it to have breakfast with her. I'm just into having an hour or two. So of course I do. Do you? Well, Donnie, did you?
What, make a move? First move?
With your wife. You didn't, right?
No, I did not make the first move with my wife.
Good for you. That's how real gentlemen does it, don't they?
That's right. Hey, might have lost a big man on campus right there. I think we're still live here, so I will carry the show. Big man, obviously, see his screen was a little bit flaky in and out, so hopefully he'll be able to chime back in and get in here as soon as possible. But just going over some stuff here on the chat box, guys. Thanks for popping in here. See if we got any information here. Live in Rochester, New York, Yanks AAA in Rochester this week against a twin affiliate. Just saying Torres needs to be called up for Headley. He looks like a pretty good prospect there. I know Big Man always talks about him, Kevin, so it will be interesting. As you know me, I like to rail on my Philadelphia Phillies about not being able to, bring up any guys from AAA and do anything. So I always have that right in my craw that whenever I see another team's prospects being brought up to the major league level, and I feel like I'm always left out in that respect. Jeff, we're just talking about Torres maybe coming up for the Yankees that replace Headley.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it needs to happen immediately. I mean, get rid of fucking Headley and bring Torres up. Big Man's Honey pulled the plug on the PC. No, I'm actually – what I did, and I think one of the reasons for the camera is – so, Donnie, in my apartment here, obviously where I was sitting I had to cut basically a hole through the wall to put the cord through it, and I feel like something's going on with the internet cord. But it's hooked up.
Why you don't have it on wireless over there?
Well, I do. I can do that, but I prefer just an automatic straight line right into the computer. But Harper went up with the Cubs. No, he won't. They can't. They're not going to pay him and Chris Bryant. Come on. Did Big Man move in with Ian? No, I didn't move in with Ian. I'm in a new room here.
You're at Ian Cameron's house.
Yeah, I live up in Canada now. Donnie, did want to ask you about the
Yeah.
NBA Finals tomorrow. Obviously, we talked about it a little bit last night. Obviously, if you look at the line currently, up to 3.5 now. Warrior money coming in, open 2.5, up to 3.5. You have to figure Warriors will be another public side here. They're going to continue to be. But is the sharp money on the Cavs, Donnie?
I don't know if it's sharp money on the Cavaliers, so to speak. I mean, I know I saw the big six-figure wagers coming in on the Golden State Warriors. It's pretty easy to watch the first two ball games, and just they're clearly a much better team, even a much better team from last year. Steph Curry's fully healthy. Obviously, you're adding Kevin Durant. But again, I'm the ultimate conspiracy theorist type of guy. The NBA is about money. Obviously, it's a business. It's not good for business with a sweep. King James probably going to get it done tomorrow night. Now, again, if it goes 3-0, nobody gives a damn about game 4. They need Cleveland to win game 3 in this game, at least to push a game 4, another hugely rated game. And then even with game 5, maybe, one would think Cleveland could go out there and try to steal a game and bring it back to Cleveland. So you have all those storylines available. You have no storyline, Jeff, available if they go down tomorrow night.
Yeah, I agree with you. Again, I know you could tell me for hours how Golden State's a better team. I agree 100% with you. But at the end of the day, the NBA will put their paws into this game. It's just how it's going to go. I just don't think they can afford, with how the playoffs went this year, we have to have at least a little intrigue. But again, I think Dylan makes an interesting point here. Mm-hmm. Warriors have to be hungry for that kind of run through the playoffs without a loss. They're just such different teams, Donnie. I mean, you look at the first 2 games. I mean, they weren't even close.
No, they're dialed in. It's clear they're dialed. If you saw the post-game interview right after where they had KD and Curry side by side, there was no celebrating. They know it's only 2 games, but they know as long as they keep their head in this one, they can roll it right out. By the way, Jeff, I don't know if you caught any of this. I flip around in the morning when I'm doing my capping, here and there, and put on ESPN. Usually have Fox on just to try to get something live in the background that I can watch and listen to. Not a big fan of First Take, but did you hear the reporters coming out saying that the locker room for the Cleveland Cavaliers was pungent with weed when they went in there? Did you hear that story?
I have heard that story. And, I got to be honest, I don't really care. I mean, is it any different from ours?
No, it's not. It's not. How can I even put it? Who cares if they cracked open, a 6-pack of beers and pounded it? But it's just the optics. Like, what happens if it was, J.R. Smith and, they're passing around a joint or a blunt or whatever in the locker room. They have 10 minutes before the press comes in there. What happens if somebody just does one of those D'Angelo Russell, takes a video and puts it out? Does the NBA just right away get it and be like, all right, you're suspended, and you're suspended for the next game? Why would you do that? Why can't you just wait to get back on the bus?
Here's my issue with the commenter that mentioned this. Brian Windhorst is a known LeBron employee. I mean, is there any more clear that he works for LeBron James?
No, that's his job. He sleeps on his front lawn. Yeah.
You look at his comment. There was a smell of marijuana in the Cavs locker room, but there are 2 doors to that locker room. There were 3 times as much media there. There are questionable media dudes hanging around the finals. That's all I'm going to say. I did smell marijuana, but I have no idea where it came from. So is he basically saying that someone in the media was smoking weed?
Yeah, the media smoking weed in the hallway, like they're not going to get rushed out of there. I mean, come on.
Right. Again, I would imagine there are people that are look like. If Sean Harnish can get a media pass to some kind of basketball game, anybody can. So, who the hell knows what kind of people get into games? I mean, I could get a media pass. Anyone could get a media pass, I feel like. So, for me, I kind of in a way believe Windhorst. I don't know that anyone in that locker room was smoking weed. But, again, I guess you need to take the edge after game, don't you?
Yeah, but I mean, that's just the whole optic of it is just garbage. I mean, why would I don't even understand. Like, if it doesn't make sense to me, professional athletes doing that, or even like your sidekicks on in there, like your posse or whatever you have, or your boys that came to the game, especially on the road, they're not in the locker room. So just a weird environment. I can't imagine that a professional athlete would be that stupid to do in the locker room. Well, they can do it anywhere they want.
I think Dog Raymond makes a good point. I mean, someone could have smoked ganja right before they came in their car, some media guy, or went outside in the back in the media parking lot and something and smoke something. Who knows? I don't think it was someone in the locker room, but who the hell knows? But you're right. I mean, very irresponsible if it was someone in there. But I think Lou would take the blame in that situation.
Yeah, no, the thing I do agree with that the NBA does is NBA doesn't really care about weed smoking, and neither should any of the other leagues. I mean, if you're stupid enough to just get high every day and you forget your playbook and you don't feel like going to practice, I mean, you're going to be out of the NFL or any league that you're in. If, you're banged up from the game and, smoking weed after it and you're staying at home, you're not going out, you're not getting DUIs on it. I mean, I can see the point of view there. But with the NBA, the one thing they do smart, Jeff, is I believe they only test one time per year per player. And they have a 4 to 5 month window that the NBA says, all right, I'm going to send you an official note, Kyrie Irving, September 13th. You will be drug tested for marijuana December 22nd. Like, you have that far away in the NBA to get ready for the drug test, which is very smart by them to say, well, we have a drug policy, but they don't really want anybody to get caught up in that web. And if you get caught up stupid enough to get caught up in that web where you have literally 3 to 4 months to get ready for the drug test, well, that's on you. The NFL, they just, I think, take it as like a game where, hey, we're just going to peg you right out of the league on, oh, you're going to the Bahamas? Yeah, well, you have 2 hours to get to a center to get drug tested and see what you're on there. So the NFL actually looks for weed where the NBA turns their head on it.
Let's play a fun game, Donnie.
Yes.
If a Cav was smoking weed, which one would it be?
It's J.R. Smith, man.
That's where I'm going.
Close. Oh, my goodness.
I mean, it's got to be J.R. Smith and Tristan Thompson, right? I mean, either one of those two. I don't think it's like maybe JaVale McGee. He looks fairly stonerish to me. What white guys are on that team? Because most long-haired white guys are.
Kevin Love. I mean, is Kevin Love smoking up in the locker room? I mean, hey, he grew up in that West Coast,
Corver looks like
in
a
the beach. Yeah, Corver might be able to get down.
Doesn't he look like kind of a pothead? Yeah.
Yeah. Like, hey, LeBron, don't sweat this, man. Take this J right here,
Shumpert, that's not a bad one. Kyrie, I don't think Kyrie seems to like.
He seems like the guy that would tell on you. Come on, guys.
J.R. Smith's a cokehead. It's Shumpert. Good point. Remember when J.R. Smith gripped that like 19-year-old kid up or whatever? Like, do you remember that?
I don't know, but he was bad in New York. Like, this guy was, I heard it. Wow. Whew.
Yeah, when he was in New York, he like some 15-year-old kid went up to him and like said he sucked ass or something, and Smith gripped him up and like choked him. It was if you look it up, you can Google it. But yeah, it's definitely got to be.
Yeah, he's not giving them anything in this series either. I mean, it's LeBron getting triple doubles out there and they're getting wiped off the court. That's got to be disheartening. I mean, I know $127 million payroll for the Cavaliers is the highest in the league. Obviously, the talent isn't really what Golden State is, but if you're LeBron James, you go to sleep at night and be like, I just balled out and we got destroyed and it didn't matter. That's got to be tough.
BMOC didn't pay his cable and internet bill. So how would I be on the show here? I mean, do you think when you talk? I mean, really?
What did you do? Splice next door's cable, Jeff, together and wire it through your computer?
I'm actually splicing it from across the street. I have a cable out my window here. I mean, come on, dude. The picture's a little grainy. I'll have to fix it. Donnie, interesting story. I wanted to bring this up.
Yeah.
I found this to be kind of interesting. We were talking about the other night our favorite sports movies. My favorite sports movie, actually. And I mentioned, for me, it's Green Street Hooligans. It's one of my favorite movies. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. But if you remember in that movie, Donnie, Millwall, you remember that group, right?
Yes, correct.
Millwall. They're actually a real team. They're an English 2 team. They actually just got promoted recently, and they're known for violent soccer hooligans. They're one of the groups featured in Green Street Hooligans that fights with the West Ham fans. But Donnie, did you hear what happened in that over the weekend? Obviously, you heard about the London bridge attack.
Yeah, I know that one. Yep, sure.
So I found this story, a soccer fan, a Millwall fan named Roy Lerner. He was actually stabbed in the attack. He survived, and he was actually in London drinking. He had been quoted as saying he was 4 or 5 pints in when he was walking over the bridge. And basically he saw the attackers coming at him, shouting things. And this is his quote. Listen to this quote. Like an idiot, I shouted back at them. I thought, I need to beat the piss out of these bastards. I took a few steps toward them and said, fuck you. I'm from Millwall. and they started attacking me. They attacked him, stabbed him several times. He's in intensive care. But how about that? I mean, this guy, wasn't even scared of anything. He basically said, I didn't think of my safety. I had 4 or 5 points in, nothing major, but I was out with an older person and it was out of order. He was more worried about kind of not, kind of being out of line with an older person, as opposed to he actually protected people from what I've seen here. Amazing stuff. I mean, and you got, just because to show you, those Millwall, they're tough son of a bitches.
Yeah, hey man, if you're gonna fight terrorism, why not throw the hooligans after them? You know what I mean? They don't give a damn. I saw, by the way, did they have a big melee or scrum or a panic attack? I saw a couple guys from Juventus fans that actually hurt. Did they brawl after the game, or what happened there?
I don't know. I didn't hear particularly about that. I mean, normally after every big type of game, you're always going to have, hooligans fighting each other. But I actually heard a story out of Albania, Donnie, that I wanted to bring up to you.
Yes.
I heard a story, and I got to look at the validity of it, but it was tweeted out by someone that in the Albanian media that I have respect for. He pointed out a story about, I guess there was some kind of thwarted attack in Albania. Some Albanian bar people kind of ran terrorists out. Ran terrorists out of the building. And you're starting to see where people aren't backing down from these people. And you got to give it to people like this guy. I mean, this guy, I'm looking at the pictures. He's an older guy, this guy. He's not some young kid. He's in his probably his 50s. I mean, send the fucking hooligans after these fuckers. I mean, that would be effective, I feel. But good for him. I mean, definitely a legendary guy, and hopefully he recovers. But an interesting story there. Fuck you, he says. I'm from Millwall.
Just take them on, yeah.
That's how you know you love sports, man. When you go fight for your sport. Donnie, would you ever fight for the Eagles?
I think I would have to fight for the Eagles. I think that's one. Like, what would be the situation though? Give me a situation.
Okay. Let's say they're in the NFC Championship and it's against Green Bay, and you're walking up to the stadium, and you see a group of Eagles fans almost preparing for battle. Let's say they're preparing to go fight Green Bay fans over I don't know, the stadium, let's say. I mean, would you fight for the stadium? Would you
No, see, I wouldn't do that. But if you like equate it to another situation, like saying, like, I'm at the bar, it's late. Maybe I rolled into, a local bar on South Street. Wentz was over watching film late. It's about midnight, Monday night, nobody's there. He rolls into the bar, sits down, like, oh my goodness, like, look who's here. Let me buy you a beer. So we have a couple beers, and some rowdy guys come in out of state, maybe New York, and they're like picking on, Wentz and this like that. And Wentz like, you ready to get down? I mean, you have to, don't you, at that point, though? You can't just be like, hey, Carson, you're my boy, but I got to get out of here. You got to throw down.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely throw it in. I also have mentioned it before when we talked about the Buster Posey stuff. If I'm with my friends and someone starts fighting, I'm going to jump in. I mean, that's part of it. But look, to be honest, I mean, if I see anyone in the street getting assaulted, I'm going to look to intervene, especially if it's a woman or something. But yeah, I mean, that's actually a good point, something like that. But someone asking, Big Man, are you a fan of Boiler Room? Yeah, I love Boiler Room. It's one of my favorite movies.
Great movie, yeah. Chris Cannabis out there, tell us an Eagles fight story at a game. One of the best ones I've ever seen in my life was 2002. It was the NFC Championship game, at the last game at the Vet versus Tampa Bay. Some Tampa Bay fans were up there. I mean, everybody was down there early. It was a cold, really, really cold day. Ended up, it was like, one of the best days of my life and the worst days, because obviously Eagles take an early lead. The loudness of the stadium, Vet Stadium, after Deuce Staley walked in, I believe it was like 9 or 11-yard touchdown after a long Brian Mitchell return. I mean, the place was erupting. I remember looking at the clock. There was about, I don't know, 13 minutes or, whatever time on there. And I had a splitting headache. And I was like, I'm never going to make it through this game. Make a long story short, they lost that. But in the parking lot early in that game, 2 Tampa Bay fans, this was maybe 11 a.m. Game didn't start till about 3:30 in the afternoon. We're walking down the middle of the parking lot. And Jeff, when I say like battle formations formed behind them, and it was like a sea of green walking right behind them, chasing them, running full speed. I said, what is going on down there? Little do I know, pull off all their Tampa Bay gear, and this is about 20 or 30 people running high with it, full speed down the parking lot, right into the trash can that was already lit and on fire, obviously keeping people warm. But just there's been way worse stuff. I'm talking about tuned up. Jeff said the 700 level was infamous. In the vet, it was 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700 level. The knucklehead sat in the 700 level. And if you don't know the stories behind that, in the 80s there, the Eagles were not allowed to have a 4 o'clock game at the vet because it was too dangerous for the security guards to go up there and clear out all the rumbles. Obviously now with the Lincoln Financial Field, all the security. But back then, Jeff, you could throw bombs in there, and they would throw the Dallas fan out and let you stay in your seat. It was amazing.
No, I remember sitting in 738 plenty of times, and I remember, look, I've seen people get thrown down the concourse, almost get thrown off the fucking ledge. I mean, if they're not, I've seen
it was a true banana republic in the 700 level. If you were an Eagles fan back in the
I saw one time a Cowboy fan, I saw a girl get slapped in the face by an Eagles fan, and her boyfriend stood up and he got slapped too. And he was the one that got thrown down the concourse. I've seen a lot of shitty things there. Some things that in a way I don't think are should be in that stadium. I mean, that's one thing they do down at Lincoln Financial. They do a good job with security and things like that. But
they're also big. Back to the wire, Jeff. Entrapment is used a lot down at the stadium now, as you know. Undercover cops walk around. In the Dallas game, 3 undercover cops will walk together in Dallas jerseys. If you go over to harass them or throw an F-bomb at them or razz them a little bit, you're out of there and you lose your season tickets. That's how tough it gets at these stadiums now. Yeah,
I mean, you got to be smart. Yeah, they're some of the big games they'll put a guy in regular clothes undercover, and he'll come walking over, and you'll be like, what the fuck?
I mean, I've seen people even in Lincoln Financial Field last year. I've seen 2 guys fight each other, literally 2 seats apart before the kickoff. Before the kickoff, I've seen it go, and I've also seen people in the stands point at each other, blah, 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 let's go. Literally run down the aisle, don't hit each other, side by side, to go inside to fight each other. I mean, it happens. It's lunacy sometimes out there. And I look at myself saying, yeah, I paid a lot of money for these seats. At least if I'm going to fight in the damn fourth quarter. Jesus, before kickoff going at it.
Yeah, you remember back. Actually, that's a good point by Tho Marino there. When the Eagles booed Michael Irvin, fuck Michael Irvin. That's what you do in Philadelphia. You hate the Cowboys.
Yeah, but that was actually an alter. They weren't booing Michael Irvin being hurt on the ground. They were booing Deion Sanders for doing his Rain Man dance around Michael Irvin in a circle.
And again, Tho Marino, I'm not sure how many games you go to, but if you're actually at the game, you have no idea that Michael Irvin's neck's broken or whatever. You don't know that. I mean, again, Donnie's making a good point. I mean, it was mostly Deion Sanders. I don't think any fan knew that Michael Irvin had broken his neck. I mean, or whatever happened there. I don't think. Again, I'm sure there were people that booed that. And if you go to an Eagles game, there are plenty of pompous people there. I mean, they would boo that. I've heard people. I remember I heard a report. I don't know if you've ever heard Howard Stern did one of those segments where he sent one of his people to an Eagles game and they were interviewed, and he was asking questions on like, what do you think of Eli Manning? And the guy responds and goes, I hope he gets hit by a truck on the way home. I mean, there are dicks down there. I mean, and 70 or 80% of them are like that.
And forget about even the game or the pregame tailgate. I've seen more fights over the last 15 years leaving the stadium because you can't move in some of the parking lots. People are liquored up getting ready. Somebody doesn't let somebody go, and it's eagle on eagle crime. See it all the time in the stadium. Drunk guy just walking by, there's a Giants fan here. There's a Redskin fan over there. Somebody wants to be tough. The one thing that I do get a kick out of sometimes is if you come to an Eagles tailgate, and again, it's not as bad as it was even 10 years ago, but if you come and it's just say, 10 Redskin fans there, the Eagle fans will have a good time with you. You'll throw the football around, you'll barbecue up, you can talk a little smack, but there are factions of fans that come in from out of state and literally are the aggressors out there, and it gets handled pretty quickly. But again, Eagle fans do get a really bad connotation from way back in the day when it was just mayhem at the vet. But again, Dallas fans can pull up next to me. It's always good ribbing. And, hey, man, how long you lived in Dallas for? That's right. You live 15 minutes away. I mean, there's always that. But as long as you're a courteous fan out of town knowing what you're in, because, again, the one thing that's infuriating in anybody's fan base out there, Jeff, same as you, Jeff, you're a Yankee fan. You go in the Yankee Stadium. Let's just say the old Yankee Stadium. 2 Boston fans sit next to you. they're not really doing anything to you. You're like, these, guys next to me sitting there. How about, back in the day, Big Papi, it's a 2-run home run, Jeff, they're standing and cheering. Now it's on, because now it's just like, you coming into my house, now you're disrespecting me. I've seen that way more than that.
I got to be real. I can't stand those people that come to games and root for other teams. Look, don't come to a game. I mean, go to their stadium and watch it. I don't like other fans in the stadium. I guess they have the right to be there, I guess, but most of them are just doing it to be dicks. I mean, really. I mean, that's if you're a Cowboy fan in South Philadelphia or Jersey, you're just a scumbag. I mean, that's what it is. No one liked you when you were a kid, and you decided, well, I'm going to get back at all them and like the Cowboy. I mean, it's a scummy move. Yeah. But you're right. I mean, most of Lincoln Financial anymore is not. You're not going to get that. There's not. I don't see money fights anymore. Once in a while, you'll see it.
Same thing like Jeff. I mean, I'm an Eagles fan. I'm not going to go out to a Raiders game when they're playing the Eagles and be like third row in the. I just had the Raider section. What is it?
You mean the Browns?
No, the Raiders. The black hole. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like sit row 3 in the black hole and cheer like wild for the Eagles. I mean, that's just. It's not what you do. Like, if you want to go to the game and you're a fan of the other team, you better not be standing up cheering when it's like the Eagles fumble the football. It's the same in any stadium. I'm not going up to Meadowlands and going ballistic if the Eagles are making a comeback there, because I'll probably the only one in my section, and I'm only going to cost myself in a fight getting tossed or whatever it would be. But yeah, going to another team's stadium and going buck wild like it's your own, that's not recommended anywhere.
You wouldn't go see the Yankees in Philly. I actually saw the Yankees in Philly in 2009 for the World Series. I was at Game 5, and I did not wear any Yankees memorabilia, actually. I didn't cheer. I'm not going to do that. It's not the stadium of my team, so I'm not going to go into another team's stadium and cheer from. It's a scummy fan way to do it. They paid for their ticket too. I don't give a shit. They're doing it. They're not doing it. They're doing it to get a rise out of people. Most fans that do that. That's the point of it.
I mean, and again, people go to games. The Giants score a touchdown. You're going to hear some moderate cheering in there, but it's the ones that are cheering the first down. They're cheering the fumble. They're cheering the Eagles just got a holding call. Those guys get removed pretty quickly. But again, those guys come in there, Jeff, also with the motive on, I'm just, everybody has the guy at work or the guy in their class or the guy in college that, man, just keep your mouth shut over. Like, nobody really needs to hear you, but that's what they like to do.
Yeah, I mean, are you still there, Donnie? You hear me?
Yeah, no, I'm here. What's up, buddy?
Yeah, I said it before, and I'll say it again. The Cowboy fan in Philadelphia is super younger. That you know how when you're younger, you kind of hang with like a group of kids.
Yep.
It was always that kid that was just a little prick. Like he was always trying to be different than everybody. Like I feel like Phil Marino would be a Cowboy fan. It wouldn't surprise me if I found he was a Cowboy fan. It wouldn't surprise me, just because he seems like he's always trying to be different than everyone else. You could just kind of spot a Cowboy fan from a mile away. But again, look, I'm not saying that. Go over to England, Donnie. I mean, you think there's a lot of And in England, Donnie, you know what they do? They put you in one section, and that's it. And it's up top. You don't sit down low. They almost vilify you for it. And they respect that over there.
Keep the guards around you so the other team's fans can't get to you. I hear you. Yep.
There are no fans down low, and they cheer when someone scores a goal. I mean, it doesn't happen. It's not going to happen. But I don't know. That's just me. I don't like it, but I guess we're not going to really why do you guys in America not just have road fan sections like we do in England? Yeah, that's what they should do. But
I don't know if there'll be enough of them technically, I guess. And how would you decipher that? Would you just say a whole section is we're just going to sell to away fans? And, how would you even prove that?
I don't know. I guess do it like student sections.
Yeah.
And they do it like in college. I mean, like student sections and stuff. Are the Houston Astros or the Royals rallying? They're trying to, and I'm sure they will. I mean, it would only be a Nadu game if there was a sweat or something here. But let's, Donnie, finish it up here.
Yeah.
We are still alive in Chicago, 10-2 now. Cubs, Texas and Mets 10-5 there. That one's long over. A lot of runs there. Arizona's closing getting closer to the total. That one might go over here, Donnie, in the fourth inning. It's 7-1, no one out, runners on first and second for the Diamondbacks. Seattle's still up 3-0, and the Dodgers and Washington still tied at 1, though the Dodgers.
Did I see Alex Gordon hit a home run tonight? That can't be true. Wow.
He's actually hit a couple home runs lately. I think he had a big hit the other night. He's starting to hit a little bit better from what I've seen. Any hobbies, big man? Yeah, I mean, I have hobbies in the summer. I jet ski and, go out, play poker. I mean, a lot of gambling. I mean, most of my life is gambling. I like to read, learn, learn about different stuff. I mean, I have, I'm reading this book right now, which I've told you about, Donnie. It's no religious overtones. I'm just reading it, just to kind of get to know things. But yeah, I have, I like to, you know what, Donnie, I'm starting to like doing decorating. I don't know why.
Now that you have a pad, you got to get ready over there. I hear you.
Kind of weird in a way, kind of feminine, but I have like this office here now, and I'm looking to like decorate it and do things like that. But yeah, I love going to Eagles games. I love going to Sixer games in the winter, and I like going to watch any sort of basketball, all that kind of stuff. Long walks on the beach. Yes, I like that as well. Biggest poker score. I don't know. I won $9K when I was younger on Full Tilt a while ago. And that was when Full Tilt was still around. I bought my first car with that. But I'm usually a live guy. Just go and play 2-5 or something like that. Donnie, do you play poker?
I do not play poker at all. No.
I meant to ask you that. Why is that?
I never really got into it. I'm just more of a blackjack craps type of guy. I didn't really have the time, or put it this way, my friends weren't into it. Like, if your friends are into it, they probably get you into it and everybody plays it. But we never had that. Like, and I know it was big even, in the I won't say mid 2000s, but like 2000, from 2000 to like 2005, like people would have, hey, Friday night, we're all going to meet at my house and do that. But my friends really didn't do that. So I never got into it. But I mean, I'm a gambler by nature. And if I got into it, I probably would have had a lot of fun and continued to do so, but just never got into it.
Not really, big man. Having nice decor is not allocated only for females. Men have good taste too. Thank you. My mother always taught me good taste. Donnie, last thing before we go tonight, wanted to point this out. So the reason for our early show today is, as I've told you, and as I'm going to tell the listeners, I'm working on weight loss, heavy weight loss. I'm trying to lose weight, and I had to go see a psychiatrist today to kind of figure out why I eat the way I do. And I had some funny questions posed to me when this. Have you ever been to one, Donnie?
Been to what?
Like a shrink?
No. Actually, I'm sorry. Yes, I've been to a shrink before. Yes.
You have?
Yeah, way back. I'm talking like
Really?
early 80s. Yeah, when I was a kid.
There were some funny questions asked to me. It was, again, I won't share like everything.
No, I haven't been the one.
Yeah.
Obviously at your age, but way back in the day. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, there were some funny questions asked to me, like about, but I never thought about like how I guess like food in a way could play role in like, why you eat the way you do. I mean, food can, but yeah, overeating is usually psychological. Good point.
You know what's funny with that, Jeff? When you bring that up, like the way you like to use food, some people eat like get stressed out, they have to eat, or you're bored and you eat and all that stuff. I'll tell you one thing with gambling, Jeff, it's actually the opposite for me. The stress level I get from gambling and doing that, I don't want to eat anything. And you know what I've actually taken up doing? Because again, we always get back to these gamblers and what they do. I live in a community that's around the golf course, so a lot of nice trails to walk with, even at night, well-lit areas, Jeff. I can't tell you how many times in the past 3 weeks that I will go out, like, let's just say I have a total. It's 2-0 in the fourth inning. Nothing's happening. I don't even want to watch the game on TV. I bring the phone with me and I go for a walk, and I like to think it's good luck. You get out there, you can't watch it. Oh, a 2-run home run. That's
no,
like
Donnie, I
get to walk and lose weight, and I don't eat. Love it.
I've told you I do that a lot too. I mean, I don't want to see it half time. I remember I was talking with I think Fistful of Parlays the other day. We were talking about a game, and he was like giving me updates, and I'm like, dude, I really don't want updates. Like, I'm just gonna go out and do something and get out of here. But are you considered fat in America? Yeah, probably. Big man,
skinny overseas, Jeff.
Big man's watching too much Sopranos. Thought he'd be able to bang the shrink. I got to tell you, dude, she was hot too. The shrink. She was like a blonde, short hair. She was pretty hot.
Was it like the shrink? You ever see the movie Get Out, Jeff? Was it like that shrink?
No, I haven't seen her, but I haven't seen that. But Yeah, she was definitely hot for sure. H2O, yeah. I don't drink any soda anymore. I drink total water now. I weigh 100. What is that? It's 132 pounds. Okay, well, I don't really want to ever weigh 132 pounds. You're a man and you weigh 132 pounds. I can't.
Ooh, how's that possible? Yeah,
How's
jockey? Maybe he's a jockey.
what? He's 5'2". I mean,
5'2" jockey. Maybe he's trying to cut weight. You know, you see a couple of these wrestling movies out there. Hey, you got to hit that weight, man.
yeah,
You got to wrestle shoot. You know.
But yeah, so no red meat. My father told me that too. He doesn't eat red meat anymore either.
I crush red meat, man. I crush it.
I don't eat red meat. I don't eat
steak, man. Let's go.
Yeah, I don't eat steak. I don't eat pork. I don't. The only meat I really eat is chicken. Really, fish too. I've been eating a lot of salmon lately. I'm addicted to sweet tea. Yeah, that'll do it to you. Yeah, I'm eating less carbs and things like that. But all right, guys, we're gonna go for tonight. Obviously, a fun show. A lot of things we talked about here tonight. So many crazy things. Update here. Bases loaded in.
Yeah, I got it on for you, man. Rooting for you here. You know?
I'm telling you, watch grand slam.
100-mile Giles in the game. Can he shut it down for you here?
Bases loaded out in Dodgerland also. Max Scherzer having some trouble here. Seattle up 4-0. They just took a 4-0 lead.
I need to come back with a dub, man. I'm feeling kind of anxious here with all these overs hitting, and mine comes down to the wire and doesn't hit. That's, hey, just means you got to wake up extra early tomorrow. Make sure you get a dub spot.
You know what's funny about AC? My parents know. My whole family is in very good shape. My sister's thin. My brother's thin. My mother and father thin. I don't know where I got off the wagon. Maybe I'm adopted, Donnie.
Yeah, are you even Albanian? Maybe your family's not Albanian. They got you from Albania.
No, I think I am Albanian, and they're just they're like
Italian,
Irish or something. I don't know. But we'll see. Let's wait to get off the air. But what happened in Kansas City, Donnie?
You got 0-2, Jeff. 100 miles Giles has a man down. 0-2, bases loaded.
Please just don't serve one up here, man. Come on. It was 7 fucking.
Merrifield versus
Why
Merrifield.
What's happening to me?
He's got good stuff. K his ass. Ooh, close. 1-2.
I need a fucking strikeout here. 100-mile Giles.
100 miles Giles going to put his ass away. Watch. The easiest way to gain weight is late night eating because you don't burn calories. Easy to do in gambling. I'm the opposite. Like when I'm involved in gambling, I can't eat it. I can't even concentrate.
Yeah, I don't eat. That's something they asked me today. Do I eat?
Oh boy, Jeff, don't watch, man. Don't watch.
Dog, don't tell me a grand slam.
Nah, it looks like a 3-run double.
I mean,
that's unbelievable.
They tied it up. You're kidding me.
Yeah, what was the score? Was it 7-1 or 7-2?
Dude, the fucking Royals. It was 7-1.
My God, man.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Bottom of the 8th inning, bringing your closer there. These games are nuts, man. These are the last 3 innings of baseball games. Man, boy, it's a tough one. I've done really well so far in baseball. I have done well in the past, but it's kind of funny when you watch these games. Like, there's no more. I mean, college basketball similar, Jeff, where one team gets on a run or something stupid happens. But again, there's no clock in baseball. You have to get the outs, and my God, sometimes you bleed in some of these games.
Quality stuff there from Ken Giles. Amazing.
Oh, Jesus, man. You have Whit Merrifield buried 0-2, and he smashes a double down the line. That's terrible.
It blow me, Ken Giles, fucking hack. Oh, man. Let me go kill myself. I got to go.
Yeah, we wrap it up today. Hey, we'll be back tomorrow on the roundtable. Jeff, I mean, we've had some real good success lately, giving out some team totals and some plays on the roundtable plays of the day. I can't remember the last time I lost one of my team totals on the show. Be certain to give one out. Jeff's going to be hitting it as well. That's 12:30 tomorrow. We'll get the boys back in town. We'll also be back, Jeff and I, on the late night on campus tomorrow, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard.
Yeah, and leave a voicemail if you feel like it. Have some fun. 717-220-3358. I'll throw it on the chat box. Listen to it. We'll have some fun and get to those tomorrow.
Yeah, no, me and Jeff are going to work on that tomorrow afternoon, everybody. Have a good night. Hopefully cash your tickets, anything later on, but we'll catch you guys tomorrow.